We got nerfed, finally! We're no longer the only team to not have a balanced data slate. The spotter and Demovet got slashed pretty hard, so what does this mean for the team? Do we drop the spotter and get the flamer? Do we go with Hardened and Medic? Do we pick up the Bruiser and the Zealot? Well, I can say it's definitely not that last one. So let's go through these nerfs. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Nick, I'm Benjaminis. The spotter can now no longer target operatives which are in heavy cover. This means the spotter is doing a 2 APL spot, but it's flipping a order from conceal to engage only for operatives that are not beyond heavy cover. Additionally, Beta Decima's fog counts as visibility blocking, not obscuring, so this also blocks the spotter. This means the spotter is in a tricky spot. It's situational, it's going to be map dependent. If you're playing on an open board with lots of heavy terrain in the middle, the spotter might not be the best pick now. There are still some great use cases though. The spotter can be used on maps that have a lot of light scattered terrain in the middle. Maps like that we saw at Adepticon this year, which were super wide open Octarius maps with vantage points that had the light cover facing the field, light cover in the middle of the field, and usually just the one pillar that was heavy. Those are going to be great maps for the spotter. Additionally, the Octarius heavy terrain pieces that have that light cover strip on the top, the spotter is going to be great for knocking out teams that have a really good sniper. Teams like Pathfinders that have all those silent weapons that are going to be probably sitting up on those vantage points, you can just plink them away with the spotter because it can still knock guys out of conceal while they're in light cover. Additionally, the spotter can still be used in Into the Dark hallways. Those big, long Into the Dark hallways that just have the one strip, no cover. You gotta put your barricade there to get any cover. That's gonna be really helpful with the spotter. Remember, operatives in Kill Team don't just provide a benefit by doing the actions that they have on their card. They also provide a benefit of making your opponent feel threatened by their mere existence. And the spotter will help with that. It means that operatives can't just walk around in light cover willy-nilly. That being said, if the map doesn't support using the spotter, it might be worth taking another operative now. I think I might be taking the Medic and the Hardened together on most map circumstances now. The Flamer is also a great option. I think I might take that in situations where it's like Gellerpox and there's not a lot of light cover around. I will say having the spotter versus Gellerpox is really, really nice, but their super conceal makes things a little tricky sometimes. So I think it's probably gonna be the Flamer in a number of circumstances as well. However, I still don't think there is a use case for the Zealot or the Bruiser. I mean, they didn't get buffed, nothing changed. They're still meh. So I don't think they're gonna be on the table. It'd be nice if they got a buff, but I don't see it happening. I don't think our win rate is going to like dramatically drop off for GW to care enough to be like, we should give them something back. This nerf is not significant enough, I think. I think people will stop playing that card a little bit, but I don't think we're gonna, don't hold your breath. That's not the only thing that got nerfed. I think that was a thing, but the spotter is not the whole thing. It's the Demovet. We lost our boy. The Demovet is fine. He's still fine, but he's a little worse. Let's talk about the Demovet. The Demovet's blast radius went down from 3 inches to 2 inches. That means the 6-inch radius went down to a 4-inch radius, and that's radius, circle. The 6-inch circle went down to a 2-inch, 4-inch circle. Boop, boop. It's not great. I think this is the most dramatic nerf in my opinion. It decreases the potential threat range by like a whole inch, which really matters in that first turning point. Less dramatically, the demo mine can only be placed once per game. Yeah, it should have been. It should have not been allowed to be placed more than once. This is good. I was thinking this was all they were gonna do. This brings it in line with all the other crazy explosives in the game. Lastly, this thing also makes sense. A little hurts. The Demovet can't blow up things through walls anymore. The heavy terrain on Octarius, you can't put the Demomet behind the door, plant it on the door, blow the guys up behind the door. Not anymore. You need just a little sliver of the enemy's base in order to actually target them in the attack. I think all of this together, especially that 6-inch going down to 4 inches, is going to be really rough when it comes to fighting against horde teams like cultists. You can't just go out there and say, okay, here's the 6-inch bubble that you can't go in. It makes sense. However, it does mean we're gonna have to play a little more tricksy here. But I still think you bring the demo vet every single time. It's still ripped, it's still super scary, it still eats elites for breakfast. I think one thing worth mentioning is that you can now be much more aggressive with your own operatives using the demo vet, right? Like, the 6-inch bubble is not a 4-inch bubble. That means you could have operatives in a much wider radius, and you could have your operatives behind heavy cover while all this is happening and not get targeted. So this means you can hide behind that heavy Octarius door, pop through the door, plant the mine, pop back through the door on the other side, and blow it up. You're not going to be targeted because you don't have the visibility on that side. So you're perfectly fine there. It still goes through light cover, so there's options for that. Overall, I think this nerf is just like fine. I'm a bit sad about it, mostly since I don't think it addressed the sort of irregularities on the bad side of the team. It just makes the usual picks worse, right? Like, you're still gonna pick the demo vet. The spotter is interesting that you could drop it maybe sometimes, but it's not like so bad that you would want to pick up the zealot or the bruiser, who are just like not picks. You don't take them. It's unfortunate, right? I hope that we would get to be like, hey, our whole roster is relevant, which is something they seem to be doing with other teams. They give the bruiser 4 attacks, 4 damage, either or, maybe like a guaranteed stun. That'd be fun. Maybe we get the artillery to be buffed, making it like Star Striders. But I don't think we'd still take it, because 14 operatives is way better than 10 bad vet guard. But if the artillery was worth taking, like, you could consider it in some matchups. Will I still main vet guard? For sure. They're still fine. I think this is giving me an excuse to go and look at Kazarkin again and give them a fair shake. I'm usually like, win rates don't matter, Andy, but Kazarkin being at like 27% win rate is like a little concerning. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna give them a shot regardless. It'll be a fun experiment anyhow. Vet guard have less than 50% win rate this month, but we got nerfed, so it's like clear that win rates are not indicative of the team's actual health. The rest of the balanced data slate is really promising. Felgor's Frenzy still looks ripped. I'm hoping that the nerfs will bring them a little bit more in line with everyone else, but I'm still worried about Frenzy. Hearthkin looked like a blast with the dozer buffs. I really want to play Hearthkin. Don't think I'll bite the bullet on it, but we'll see. Higher tech look terrifying. I don't know what they did with higher tech. Good luck, everyone. Farstalker Kinban might need some more work. I don't think that buff's really going to do a whole lot for them. Warp Coven look really spicy, and know that some local folks are very excited about that. But I think I'm most excited about the changes for Beta Decima. It's like actually making the map playable and competitive, which is fun. The mist is blocks visibility now. It's not causing obscuring. That's great. It should stop the sort of main obscuring blocking teams from just rolling on the map. Plus, jump tests automatically pass. Yeah, jump tests not being a thing you need to roll on. It's gonna make life so much easier. It's gonna make those like random swings with elite teams on that map way nicer. And it's gonna make us who are rolling 14 jump tests probably not have 3 fails, which is just like, could ruin a game, right? And I want to touch on, I got back from Adepticon. I gotta re-glue it. It wasn't printed on like last year. Anyways, what this one, it's the gold one. I didn't do the GT this year. I loved the GT last year. It was a lot of fun. I went this year and looked. I walked around, said hi to everyone. That was a good time. It's cool seeing like Shane from Command Point, the awesome family who comes every year. There's just so many cool people at Adepticon. If I said hi to you, hi, it's great to see you again. But I wanted to do the doubles tournament this year because it looked so fun last year. It just looked like a great vibe. And so I went with my friend. We managed to win. We got the highest scoring points and all that. So we got first place. Which felt really good. That was really fun to get to win an Adepticon tournament. I know it wasn't the GT, so it's like not really a big deal, but it's nice to get to say like, hey, we did it. GTs are just like a lot of effort and time and investment to do, and I wanted to do a bunch of other stuff at Adepticon this year. Like I did Turnip 28, which was so fun. I did a bunch of other games there. I did a bunch of shopping for my Old World army. I just got to do like more hobby stuff this year at the con, whereas last year was like I went to the tournament and did the tournament and I left. So it was just a lot more socializing. It was really fun. But yeah, it was cool. Doubles is a weird format. How it works is you're playing Into the Dark on one side and open board on the other side, and you can cross the middle. Tac ops that are central in the middle of both maps. But you're scoring your individual tac ops. You have a shared CP pool that has less CP than average, as like 6 CP versus 8. And you can score max points across the boards. So what that means is that if like someone rolls on one side, they can score like all of their objectives. And if you're struggling on your side, your opponent can score like all of those objectives and go 50-50. But more often than not, one side would steamroll our side, or like one side would steamroll, the other side would do fine, the other side would come help and make the other side win. So there'd be like, you'd really have to be like super equally matched on both sides of the board to have a really even game. That being said, it was a whole lot of fun still. There were some crazy situations, like our last game, I played 2 games against Pathfinders in Open. I was Vet Guard. My friend was Novitiates. I got matched up against Pathfinders on Open twice, and the Adepticon boards were so open. So it was just a shooting gallery, which meant I had to be really cagey with my operatives. It was a lot of like taking my troopers and saying, you're gonna die this turn, but you're gonna capture that objective. What I didn't expect the Pathfinder player to do in our last game was cowboy it up. When I say there was not a single marker light put on my operatives, I mean it. What he did was he put everyone on engage. And he said, okay, I'm gonna shoot at you until you fall apart. I've never had a Pathfinders player do that in my life. The amount of 4-ups this guy was rolling, incredible. By the end of the second turning point, I was down to 5 Vet Guard. I had scored 4 and 4 on points in the first 2 turns. I was feeling really good. But I quickly understood that I was not going to be able to sustain that into the 3rd and 4th turning point. I've never had a Vet Guard, or I've never had a Pathfinder player just throw their models at me and shoot with their 4-5 weapons. It's kind of a promising strategy, especially if like Vet Guard can't just go for 1-for-1 in that circumstance. That was spicy. We managed to hold it out. I managed to score more in primary, and my tac ops were still going through, just because I was able to sacrifice my operatives back and forth, which is really the sort of thing that you gotta do with Vet Guard, right? Like, their models are not meant to be killing, they're meant to be scoring objectives. So as long as you're scoring objectives, you're good. Got the win. So it was a lot of fun. Anyways, thanks for watching this little update. I have a full-time job now that I'm busy with, so I'm not able to make as many videos as I would like to. So I'm making these when I can. I got life to do, but I love this little hobby here, so I'll keep doing this stuff. We've got a local tournament coming up in April, that we just filled up in less than 24 hours, which is super exciting. Got 24 players doing a big tournament. It'll be a lot of fun. I think I'm gonna bring Kazurkin to that. We're gonna do a little rest bite, bring the Kazurkin, and just see what happens. So it'll be fun. Thanks for watching.